The Burn Degree. So $50, right? Just to sit here? The woman nodded, still smiling since the moment Kyle mentioned his reason for being there at the reception. He was so nervous, he'd gulped down the bottle of water she'd offered before even making it to the elevators. She was unintentionally pushy as she led him through what seemed like a maze of indistinguishable doorways, but somehow she found the one that was meant for him. The door slammed behind Kyle, and he was left alone with 2 chairs for company, but 2 chairs nonetheless. Kyle took up one of the empty seats, wishing he'd asked to use the bathroom before the woman left. The tattered blue fabric scratched at where his bare skin touched the cushioned chair. Wriggling to find a comfortable position only led to more itchiness. The door swung open, and another entered the room. The woman's eyes locked on Kyle. He sat up straight and stopped squirming. She smiled, her hand reaching out to greet him. Kyle jumped to his feet, brushing his hands on his bleached denim shorts, and took her hand to shake it. "Hi there," she said. Her fingers curled around Kyle's hand, grasping it with a firm hug. "Hey, I'm Kyle." He managed to smile, hoping it was more friendly than fake. As she pulled her hand away, her nails softly scratched against his fingers. "Nice to meet you." Kyle waited for her name, but the woman just sat down on the chair opposite him. Her brown curls bobbed as her head moved. He noticed an earpiece tucked inside her ear. Perhaps she was hard of hearing and hadn't heard his mumbled name, and was too polite to ask again. Kyle sat back down in the itchy chair across from her. "Hey, do you seriously think this is a good look?" She eyed him up and down. He'd never really thought much about what he wore, never really cared, but she made him feel like maybe he should have today. "What? Oh, this shirt. Well, you know girls don't really go for the whole grabbed whatever I found off the floor this morning look. You know grunge is dead, right?" "Well, I'm not really looking to impress anyone. At least you ironed your shirt, right? Or maybe Mummy did it? You look like you still live at home." Kyle frowned. "What? No, my mum didn't. Probably still a virgin too, right? I mean, what girl would ever want to hit that? Look, I've only just met you. You don't know me." "Oh, and look at those tiny feet. I bet that's not all that's tiny." She wiggled her pinky at him. Kyle shook his head. "What is this?" "Ugh, whatever. I'd rather smack my head against a wall than listen to you any longer." The woman stood up and went to the door. She stopped with her hand on the doorknob and turned to him. "Good luck," she smiled, and slipped out through the doorway. Was this some sort of new interviewing technique? Or was this the job? Kyle couldn't remember exactly what the ad had said. He just remembered $50, guaranteed. Even so, he didn't need this. He didn't ask for this. A quick $50 wasn't worth this kind of abuse. Kyle crossed the room to the door and turned the doorknob. It clicked and snapped back in his hand. He tried again, but to no avail. "Hey, let me out of here!" Kyle banged his fist on the door, jiggling the knob with his other hand. "Come on, it's an emergency. I gotta go to the bathroom." A flash from behind turned his head. He squinted at the opposite wall. It looked different to the others. The paint had a metallic white sheen that the light seemed to bounce off of instead of absorbing it. He took a step forward, concentrating on the wall. The door squeaked open behind him and whacked him in the side of the face. A tall guy with spiked hair that defied gravity and a Bondi Sands tan entered. "Hey, sorry mate, he didn't see you all the way down there." He snickered as he sat in an empty chair. The man also had an earpiece tucked inside his ear, the same as the woman had. Kyle rubbed his jaw and glared at the guy. It wasn't broken, but it was surely going to bruise. "Ah, don't be such a girl. Didn't hurt that much." The man put his hands behind his head and leaned back. Kyle bit his tongue but still pulled his hand away from his aching jaw. He didn't want to engage with the man, so he just rolled his eyes and swore under his breath. "What was that, matey?" The man feigned lunging forward. Kyle jumped, shifting backwards. What a pussy," the man chuckled. "Look at ya. Bet you haven't even got any hairs on your chest yet." Kyle's face grew flush. His already tender jaw throbbed. He kept his arms at his side, fists balled up so tight his nails were piercing his skin. "Go on then, I'll give you first shot." The man tilted his jaw up. "You haven't got it in ya." Dude, can you just stop? Kyle pleaded. His body was shaking all over. That's not what your mum said last night. A bell rang in the next room beyond the two-way mirror. That's 100% burn rate, sir, a man in a white lab coat said, tapping on an iPad. Excellent. Just in time for lunch, right, Stella? An older man in a black Armani suit tickled a four-legged ball of white fluff in his arms. The woman who brought Kyle to the room stepped forward. With numbers like these, we'll make millions. Millions? The Armani-clad man said, raising an eyebrow. The amount of money I'm putting into this research, I'm expecting billions. The woman and man in the lab coats looked at each other and smiled. Footy finals are coming up. Get the app out now. I don't want to miss out on all those potential customers, the Armani-clad man said. And recipients. The three chuckled, ignoring the cries from within the room.